Hello everyone to another day of VCS action. We are still in week 3, this time day 3, and the first matchup today will be a treat to watch. We have EVOS returning from withdrawals after a devastating loss on day 1 against Loki. They now return to and try to challenge the 3-win streak team, which is GAM. As you can see, GAM right now sitting at 3 wins and 2 losses. As we have to sort out a few things, we'll be back soon.
G'day everybody, welcome back to another night of the VCS action. As always, I am everyday. With me here is Yulwei. How are you tonight, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. It's finally back to normal temperatures where I live, so I can now not burn to death or freeze in the summer, which is nice. Finally, some normal temperatures. And in terms of games, as I already alluded to a little bit earlier, we now have GAM against EVOS at our hands. And after yesterday's games, I think every GAM game will be a treat to watch. What do you think?
I think GAM was super impressive yesterday. I think they looked fantastic, and I think them going up against EVOS will be a super big test for both of these teams.
Did you catch a glimpse of EVOS's lineup? They are playing
No.
some crazy stuff here. So Coyote, the new top laner who debuted on day 1 of week 3, is still in, which I like because he had good games, even though they lost both games. I think it was not on him.
No, I agree.
But more interestingly, support, no way coming back in as the support player, usually an ADC player, but he played support at Rift Rivals. So it was not the most successful campaign ever. But I guess they want to try something. They want to get wins. As we see, GAM still fielding the same roster they were so successful with. They are now on the 3 series winning streak with this roster. Hugh in the bot lane, the mage player. We'll see a lot of Heimerdinger bans. Nico probably banned out against him as well. So still our favorite GAM roster, which is probably the favorite today, right?
Yeah, I absolutely think that based on the way GAM's been playing, they are the favourite coming in today. Not to say that EVOS can't win. EVOS definitely still a decent team. I'm not sure how I feel about this lineup with No Way supporting and all of that.
Yeah, I was
It's
not
still got
impressed
a
by him at Rift
job to
Rivals,
do.
I have to say.
Yeah, Rift Rivals wasn't good for EVOS.
No.
It was a bad time.
I mean, they had one relatively okay game, I would say, the first one against the LCK representative, if I remember correctly, against Damwon. What's actually a showing that can be respectable, especially considering Damwon is probably one of the strongest teams in the world right now, sitting at number 1 in LCK. So they had one okay game and one really not so great game against the LPL 4th seed in Top Sports. We'll have to see how they play out this one, and we immediately see Heimerdinger band against Hugh. That's the special.
Yep.
Hugh will draw Heimerdinger bands, and that's already a super great feat for GAM to have your non-ADC player slot in the bot lane and immediately draw at least one ban every game. That's
Yeah, it's super strong. Obviously, the more bans you get the enemy team to effectively waste, because you have to assume that GAM realizes that it's going to be very rare for Heimerdinger to get through, so they must have other strats ready for Hugh.
yeah.
Also, look at these ADC bans coming in from GAM. I mean, if you're not going to play an ADC, you may as well get rid of all of them, right?
That's an interesting strategy. I don't think we have seen GAM going full on the ADC ban train. They want to leave open as many OPs as possible, it seems, and they want to secure 2 OP picks for themselves. We now know that Mordekaiser is actually enabled. Only one team so far has played the Mordekaiser, which was Team Flash yesterday.
Kiana as well.
Kiana is enabled as well, and we have seen Kiana priority being super high in LEC yesterday. She was banned in every game. Mordekaiser was first picked in every game he was open, so I'm really intrigued how the VCS handles these two picks. So far, not the highest priority on either champ. I'd like to see
Look,
Yoshino
Silas
on
was the
either.
first pick.
Imagine
I
Yoshino
mean,
Mordekaiser.
I agree. I mean, I'd love to see some Kiana. I have not seen Kiana being played.
I've watched a Kiana game in preparation for today because I anticipated the Kiana pick maybe for GAM. I watched Kuro play the Kiana, and I have to say the ult is bonkers. The ult is
Yeah.
ridiculous. Every other spell in the kit is okay. I can deal with them, but the ult, man, there's some stuff happening. You can never take Dragon or Baron against the Kiana. It's impossible. The ult is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's one of the things I saw when I sort of looked at her kit the first time. I was like, does that work in the Baron pit? That's why it was one of my first thoughts. And,
Absolutely
it
does.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, no priority on what would be considered the two kind of fun OP picks at the moment. Kiana and Mordekaiser just not being picked, not being banned. The VCS seems very slow
Yeah.
to pick these two champions up, which is disappointing, especially because Mordekaiser. Come on, give me what I want.
Especially also after week of break, especially for GAM, they should be able to prepare a few new champs in the off time. Maybe they still have to sort out their roster, and they have to split scrim time probably against between Zeros and Yoshino. So maybe not the most time for this particular team to try out new picks. And to be fair, their pick and ban phase so far has been super great. Look at these champs. It's Slay's best champ on the Lux. It's triple flex Nico, which is just a super strong pick overall, and she's super good in the bot lane on Hugh, as we have seen already. And now Irelia coming in for either Yoshino, who had an MVP-worthy performance yesterday, against DBL,
After, yeah.
or Kiaya. Kiaya is a good Irelia as well. I'd like to see Yoshino on the Irelia. But yeah, this is a super good draft from GAM, and I'm not too sad they haven't picked up the Mordekaiser or Kiana yet. We'll have to see if Mordekaiser sees any kind of attention in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly interesting. I think looking at the LEC as well, Mordekaiser blind
Yeah.
hasn't been working because he has some counter picks, like we saw in the. I think it was was it Excel?
Yeah, but
I
Excel is
forget
also
who was
just
playing
a
for them.
super bad team. So I think
It
Mordekaiser's
was,
win
but
rate.
we also saw how bad Vayne just
Yeah, that's true.
destroys.
That's true. Wayne actually just completely murdered him in the lane, and
Yeah,
he had something like
like
3,000 damage dealt at the end of the game. So that's not something you want from your top lane carry champ.
he also played Mordekaiser quite badly. One thing that even the LEC casters didn't pick up on, which was annoying me a little bit, is if you ult Azir, he doesn't get soldiers.
Oh, what?
His soldiers don't come into the death realm with him.
Oh, that's insane. Even if he spawns
So
new soldiers?
No, he can spawn new ones,
Oh,
and they
wow.
go into the death realm. But the ones that are already up vanish. So ulting Azir in that game was actually super high priority, and he wasn't doing it. It was really annoying me. But regardless, let's not talk about the LEC too much. It is jungle bans galore coming out of EVOS, because obviously they have secured the Silas for themselves.
Yeah, no jungle
However,
priority at all for GAM. Interesting adaptation here.
I mean, interesting to see two jungle bans coming in. Sejuani still open.
Yeah, Sejuani's still open. Karthus is another
Karma.
priority for Levi. He could absolutely go to Karthus, especially with his two AD solo laners picked up. Super strong lanes as well, so safety for the Karthus to free accelerate and farm in the jungle. I'd like to see Levi Karthus actually in this game. He could just go back to something else. Sejuani, you alluded to her. There are other picks. Wait, what?
Whoop.
Wait
What?
a moment. That's Lane
Silas.
Silas. No, we have
Silas.
Nautilus already. Wait,
Nautilus
why?
mid?
I mean, it could be Nautilus mid Silas support. I'd like to see another game of Silas support, but what happened here? What is EVOS actually cooking up? I have no idea.
This is insane. Kiana Mordekaiser, just to point out, all the way through the draft. VCS just screwing up global statistics for everyone,
Yes, at times.
just making
Yeah,
sure that they don't have that
Riot can look on
pressure.
the global presence of Mordekaiser and Kiana and say, okay, they are not at 100%, seem to be totally fine. We don't have to
Not
touch
OP.
them.
Not OP. I mean, Mordekaiser's copping a pretty big nerf next patch. I actually don't think he'll be super high priority after that.
Yeah, I still have no
Uh,
idea how strong Kiana actually is. I think her ult is
yeah,
way too strong, way too OP, especially in pro play. But everything else about her
my
pit is just a little bit underwhelming in my opinion.
my read on Kiana, and it's just my read, is that you have to be absurdly good at her to get any results whatsoever. So you basically have to be a pro player.
I'm actually not too sure if that's true in coordinated play, because I think she can just be an ult bot, actually. The ult is so impactful for pro play. You don't actually have to dominate lane or anything. You can just use the ult to delay Baron or secure Baron. And then, yeah, you don't need mechanics to hit the ult against the Baron wall, right? So you can just point at the Baron wall
True.
and then... I'm not sure. The ult looks a little bit too insane to me. I have no idea what the numbers are. I think it's probably the matchup of the day of the year so far. 10 wins for EVOS, 2 for the Marines. I think that will change today, especially
I
looking at the
agree.
draft. This is a dream draft for GAM. They hit everything they wanted. Two strong solo laners with priority. They have a good scaling, strong jungler. Maybe not the favorite jungler for Levi, okay, but as we said, the two super strong solo lanes. A self-sufficient bot lane that is priority, and two strong scaling champs as well in Nico and Lux. So yeah, I think this is probably the best draft GAM could have hoped for. With a little bit of a stronger early game jungler would have been their blind pick draft already. Yeah, I think so. It's really
Yep,
super
I
good for
agree.
them.
Yep, I certainly agree. I think this is pretty much exactly what they want. Yoshino on that Irelia, we saw him absolutely destroy people yesterday. The last game against DBL
Yeah.
was basically the Yoshino show feat for bots because the rest, not that the rest of GAM played badly, but they didn't need to do anything because Yoshino did everything.
Yeah, and this is the second game for Coyote on Karma. He looked okay in the first game he ever played on stage. He has a tall order ahead of him. Yoshino probably now the best top laner after destroying Razor yesterday. I think
Yep.
he has risen in my ranking. It's probably number one right now. And Coyote is still very new. We don't really have a big read on him. He has only played 2 games on stage, so now the big
Yeah.
opportunity for this rookie to prove himself against the other, not really rookie, but still relatively new player in Yoshino.
Yeah, I think Coyote was sort of put in a role in his first 2 games where he couldn't really hard carry. You know, he's
No,
playing Karma, and I can't remember who he played in the other
Irelia
game, but
was the other game, so a little bit of
yeah,
carry opportunity, but his team fell behind. I think EVOS overall just had a little bit of a bad showing against Loki, and Coyote could not change anything about that. Actually liked his
exactly,
Karma laning phase a lot. I think he played a good
exactly.
Karma.
And I actually, I should, if all goes well here, he should be able to go pretty even in this lane. Like, obviously, yeah, Yoshino had a lights out Irelia performance, but this is still Karma. And we had a bit of a scrap here in the bot lane. Slay taking so much
Yeah, but
damage.
Divkit also taking a lot of damage, and Slay has less total HP, so one health pot does more for the Lux. It actually looks quite bad for Lux on level 1, because she has such a low base HP value. But look at her HP right now. One health pot has gotten her back to almost full HP. That's yeah. Lux trades on level 1 can be a little bit deceptive, and she is super good at trading with Aftershock.
It's very true. Thorn down here
Wow, wow,
on
wow, wow,
this
wow.
wreck side, like he might want to go in here. Ping's coming in. Oh, the flash forward. Slay in so much trouble. Hugh gets hooked. The flash but out. There should be an escape here for the bot lane. Never mind. Sword flashing forward. Hugh is absolutely gone.
And you're a little bit behind me, sadly.
Am
I'll
I?
stop
Oh
at
no.
three
We'll have
minutes.
to.
I'll stop at
All
3 minutes.
right. 57, 58, 59, 3.
Okay, okay, yeah.
Sorry about
Very interesting delayed
that.
play-by-play. I was hyped to relive the moment there, but yeah, yeah, absolutely. As you called rightly, Hugh gets caught. A little bit of miscommunication. I think Slake should have taken the hook or Hugh should have flashed with him, because you saw Slay flash away after he got flash rooted by the Nautilus, and then yeah, Hugh got grabbed because he didn't expect Slay to not stand in the way. Yeah, in the end, resulted in a win.
Coyote getting dove up here though. That was super clean there by the side of GAM. They did have to use Yoshino's flash just to be safe under the tower, but that's a really good answering kill there. Getting
no.
Yoshino a start.
The top lane
Don't know
already
if we
looks
wanna see
super dire.
that.
Look at the CS. Oh
Oh,
no, he
how is
lost the
that
whole
happening?
wave. Oh my god. This. Oh
Oh,
wait.
he's
Wait,
dead
whoa,
again
whoa, whoa, whoa,
too.
whoa, wait.
They just return killed him. He TP'd to the tower.
So that means he loses even more CS. And you might think, oh, hold that
Oh,
thought.
Kiaya though.
This is chaos. Welcome to the VCS. If you have never joined us before, this is what you'll get, especially in GAM games. But yeah, this is actually super great for Yoshinori now, because he still has his TP available, does not want to use the TP, which is a little bit surprising. So this probably indicates that he wants to look for a TP play bottom lane, because if he just wanted to play for lane, he would TP back to lane, and wow, very good dodge from Yulwei. Wow, that was super great mechanics there. Nice. Nice to see. I mean, he's an ADC, man.
You should be able to dodge a Lux Binding if you're an ADC, mate. You'd hope so.
He's playing Nautilus. Nautilus hitbox is disgusting if you're Nautilus.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
Yeah,
Ooh,
but-
Yoshino's in this bush here. Could be trying to bait the rookie Coyote here.
And Levi seems to have turned off everything else that's not top lane. Yoshino will need to catch the wave here. Yeah, he can't let these minions crash into his turret. That would be too much gold, too much experience. Experience obviously not lost because he's standing there, but too much gold lost for him. So,
Yep.
oh, this is super dangerous for EVOS.
Spotted. Ooh, this is a very bad time. We have Levi in the wings here. If Thorn sticks around at all, thankfully for him, he doesn't know, but it's a very good thing that he decided to be out of there.
Yeah, there's no way they win the 2v2 right now. Irelia, Sejuani is a super strong combination. And we already saw them securing 2 kills. The CS difference is not shrinking. Look at that. It's over 20 CS for Irelia into a ranged matchup. To be fair, Irelia is one of the greatest melee champs into ranged matchups. Actually notorious for winning a few of them.
Disaster for a Karma.
Yeah, that's
Such disaster.
really not great. And even though the bot lane has secured 1 kill with the help of Thorn, there will not be a lot. There won't be many opportunities to extend the bot lane lead with pure 2v2. Oh, Slay.
Potentially could have been caught out there, but he's okay in the end. Also, one thing we haven't really commented on is this is a mid lane Silas in 913, and it's not going too well. It's not really working out. We are seeing the faults of Silas in the lane. I don't understand that pick.
I mean, it's against
Silas
Renek,
jungling.
right?
Yeah, but like, why pick it when you could have just put him in the jungle? Rek'Sai, it's not like Rek'Sai is so stupidly OP that you have to have it.
I mean, flex picks can be too tempting. I think that this has been a little bit of a trap. Yesterday, actually, DBL pulled the flex Silas off with flexing him down to the bottom lane into the support position. If you have not watched the game, go ahead. It's a great game with support Silas coming in. But yeah, this Silas, they wanted to pick the Silas and look like they have secured the jungler and then ban out more junglers and pick away even more, one more jungle to force Levi on the Sejuani. I guess they wanted to have priority on Thorn in terms of early game ganking, but that has not really worked out for them. And now Kiaya is absolutely murdering the Silas in the mid lane.
And then also, like, Slay gets caught out here. He should be going down. Aftershock procs makes him so tanky, but that Rek'Sai ult's too good. But the counter roll here from Levi will hit onto Thorn. He's got to get out of here. He runs into the enemy jungle. Div Kid gets ulted up.
Wait, where does he come from?
Everywhere, boys. Battle Royale. Yoshino gets that kill. He must have TP'd. It's on CD. So, and Thorn does get bound here. The Sejuani E is proc. The stun goes off. Kiaya picks up the kill. And Gum gets 2.
So that was the job of Slay, I guess, to bait them. I'm not sure what Slay was doing there. He was just walking around his pajama, missing the pajama party once again on the Lux. But yeah, very good punish from the GAM.
You know my views on that skin.
Yeah, it's not my favorite Lux skin either. I think the normal Lux the Star Guardian thingy
Star Guard.
is way better, and then there are so many more great Lux skins. But yeah, I guess.
To be fair though, if we don't like that skin, that means Lux should probably get 2 or 3 more, just to be
Yeah,
fair.
I mean, yeah, more
Yeah,
more
I don't know
diversity.
what Slay just juked straight into the hook there as
Slade tried
well.
to make his best No Way impression. He's also a former ADC player, so he wanted to channel in a No Way, dodging skill shots. Yeah, look at this.
Yep.
Divkid is not happy with this trade.
No. Div Kid got absolutely destroyed there. Sorn was looking for a way out, but there was absolutely no chance.
Yeah,
But
and now
overall, Gup's pretty happy with that one.
2 more kills to the solo laners. They only give up a kill on their bot lane, and as I said before, kills on the bot lane don't really do a whole lot for EVOS in this game, because they can't really snowball the bot lane against such a good defensive counter-pushing lane. So they need to look at their solo laners. 30 CS lead for the Irelia into Karma. That's unheard of. And then
That's absolutely ridiculous.
kill to their
But
Renekton.
I do just want to quickly interrupt you here for the everyday Kaiser check-in.
Oh yeah.
He's going the right build, boys. He's got a tier. This has been the everyday Kaiser check-in. You can continue.
Yeah, thank you for that service. I like this new feature on our stream. But yeah, once again, Kaiser going the right way. This might be a little bit of a struggle for her to hit her items in this game. But at least if she gets her 3 items done, she can actually carry against these melee focused compositions without a real ADC on the other side. You can even look to assassinate Hugh maybe in the back line, which will be a little bit risky, but yeah, why not?
Yeah, but I mean, as you very correctly identified, I don't know if he has too much time to get to 3 items. It's only an 800 gold lead at the moment for GAM, which is not catastrophic for EVOS, but where's the bright spot really in terms of lanes? That's the difficult thing. I feel like if you're ever in a situation where you just lose all 3 lanes or lose 2, go even in 1, as we currently have, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, and
That's a really bad thing.
the gold looks better than it actually is. Wow, and now they're even losing bot lane. Man, that's not a great sign.
That must have just been a binding hit or
No
a
way,
Nico.
no way walked out of there, telling his ADC, "Please don't int. I'm back in a minute." And then the ADC proceeds to int. Every support main in solo queue knows that feeling. Afterwards,
Yep.
the ADC flames. Why did you leave lane? Yeah,
Where's
I know
those
that.
I can't 1v2 question mark?
It's fine. Yeah, Divkid has clans available. Like, that's not supposed to happen.
No, I don't think it was. He died very quickly, to be fair. Like, Hugh even pulled the trigger on his ult, but it didn't matter. The ult hit well after he was dead.
Yeah.
Might be the consolation prize picked up here of that Rift Herald. It doesn't look like GAM will really be able to contest it. And for once, we don't see the Rift Herald giving up massive bot lane priority.
Yeah, that's a very good look for EVOS. Very good capitalization. Looking at the reset timings for GAM, they didn't really trade anything away, but now Yoshino wants to fight.
Ooh, the TP is called. Kaya gets caught out, though. The Lux Shield does a fair bit. Yoshido, not on a lot of health here. Coyote flashing away, but he gets found anyway. Dia1, you're in so much trouble. No way. He's got the Eye of the Herald, so he just presses B, and he's out of there.
Yeah, very fortunate for him.
Chase, but they're not gonna catch him.
Yeah, but more kills to GAM, and this game doesn't look great for EVOS. Their composition scales decently well. They have Karma and Hyper Carry, so that's usually a very good setup for the later stages of the game, but they still need so much more time to actually come online. Divkid needs 3 items to really dominate teamfights, and the game will be over by then, especially looking at how GAM played yesterday against DBL. This looks super good for GAM. I praised their draft. I think this is one of the best drafts we have seen, and I think GAM overall has been probably the best drafting team, the first team to really go for Lux priority in the bot lane. Slay is a super good Lux, not so much this game, but all the other games.
Yeah, I mean, he's not playing badly. They got a pretty easy kill down in the bot lane.
And
I
yeah,
presume we never actually got a replay of it, but I presume it was off a queue. Looked like it was.
Yeah. Okay. You meant the good play for GAM. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, but he also entered away 2 kills already, because well, the kill on Hugh in the early game was on him. His mistake there,
Yeah.
not blocking the skill shot, and then himself getting caught out. So, not the best
Ooh,
game for
Coyote
Slay.
getting that speed. That's for the record. That's why Karma's really strong. She's quick. She shouldn't lose lane like this. This is
This
really
is
bad Karma, bro.
Yoshino Lane Kingdom territory. Yoshino is
Yeah,
insane. I have no idea where Yoshino came from, but Yoshino seems to dominate
yeah.
every top lane.
I genuinely, with this performance, like adding on to what he did to Raizo, I'm pretty much joining you with that, saying he's the best top laner in the VCS
Yeah,
because
and
this is a,
Zeros is sweating
you should
in
not
his seat.
win. How do you win by 50 CS over a Karma?
That's it's almost 60 now. Man, that's so
Yeah,
ridiculous. I mean, he got
like
attention by Levi and they played around the top lane dice, but even before Levi actually
come
came,
on.
he already had 20 CS lead accumulated. So the wave got stacked. No attempt from Zorn to fix the wave. That's one thing a lot of EU analysts talk about. It's fixing the wave for your top laner so he doesn't get dived, and they didn't do that,
Yeah.
which resulted
Yep.
in
I mean,
2 very quick kills.
there was actually a pretty huge mistake by Coyote as well. He died under tower. It's like, okay, not good, really bad, but recoverable. And then he TP'd to his tower before really giving Levi even time to leave.
Yeah.
Died again.
That
And
was
it's just like, well, now you don't have a
autopilot.
TP. Yeah, and that's really bad. That's like some tilted solo queue stuff.
Yeah, that's
And I
autopilot.
feel
Just tilted after the first dive. You think, okay, I need to get there as soon as possible. I need to catch a bit of the wave, and then you get there. You see the ice coming out of the brush from Sejuani, and you think to yourself, okay, this game is over. And I mean,
yep.
he was right with that thought. I think, looking at the CS in the top lane and the gold lead overall for GAM now, this is not a great game for Coyote.
No, this is a really bad look for him. Maybe if Zeros doesn't find his time on Gum because of how good Yoshino is, maybe he can go to EVOS because it looks like they could use a star top laner.
Man, that would be hype.
Uh,
I'd like that
a bit of a
change.
yeah. I mean, it might be a little bit more drama being caused around the Zeros issue, which we don't necessarily need, but
Yeah,
could
and
be
he
fun.
can swap teams again and then maybe get banned for 6 more games. So then he has not played a single game until playoffs. That would be a little bit
Did he get
hilarious.
banned for switching teams? I don't
No,
know the
say,
story behind.
6 best of threes. I think
Uh,
was the call. So this he's still out this week.
Oh, there's Coyote just getting absolutely destroyed here as we have stopped talking about this game because this game is completely over. Yoshino going a little bit too deep there, might die to the tower. Never
Oh
mind.
man, Son. Son tried his best. Son
Yep.
absolutely invested everything to get out of there. Even flashed after using his ult to delay his own death, but yeah, to no avail. Another turret goes down. 6k gold lead at 16 minutes. This game is beyond over, and we can think about how EVOS wants to fix the draft and maybe even look at other players to come in for game 2. Do you think they want to swap out Coyote again after 3 straight losses since he's in?
I mean, I don't think it's fair to characterize it as 3 straight losses for Coyote. I think it's one really bad loss for Coyote.
Fair enough.
But
Fair
he's
enough.
against an incredible top laner in Yoshino and didn't get any jungle attention. I wouldn't mind seeing. I mean, maybe you switch him out, but I also think don't pick Silas mid. Just don't. That's a really bad call. And if you're going to do this jungle pinch, you pinched Levi onto the second best jungler in the game. That's not a pinch.
Yeah, it's a
I
really
don't know.
weird strategy. I don't really understand the drafting strategy here for EVOS, and it didn't work out. So maybe they can come in with something different in game 2. This is a huge confident boost for GAM. And we already predicted GAM to be the heavy favorites today. They look super great this week.
Hello, Evos? Do you know how to take
No,
raptors?
it doesn't look that way.
What is going on there? Oh my god.
EVOS
Levi
wants to
looking
hit the FF
no
button.
way caught out. Ooh, never mind.
He had to flash. 2 ults invested at least. But what is this Lux build? Please, Slay, you can do better. You don't rush Redemption on Lux. Yeah, that's the Lux check-in from Yulwei, as we had the Kai'Sa check-in from every day. Man, I hate Lux building
Coyote,
this
I
item.
don't think you want this.
Coyote? Coyote got mad.
Flashing forward. Um,
He's a tanky
okay.
boy.
Hey, at least there's some life in him. Very angry boy.
And on a serious note, I don't think EVOS has any chance to come back in this game. They would need
It would
GAM
have
to
to.
make big mistakes from now on out.
It would have to be 2 or 3 catastrophic throws.
But we can look at the other side and judge GAM on their mid game, because they won the game, the series against DBL yesterday, but their mid game looked a little bit shaky. Their Baron setups were. Uh, yeah, I was not too happy with their Baron setups. They were a little bit iffy, a little bit too frightened about around Baron. And this time around, yeah, the Baron is once again not the greatest. That's a little bit notorious of their drafts. They go mage bot lane and 2 melee solo laners, so their Baron usually is not the greatest.
Yeah.
I don't think they need Baron to finish this game, actually. They can just split push 1-3-1 and force turrets.
I agree.
And there's another Mountain
I-
Drake coming up. So once they secure the second Mountain Drake, they can actually just brute force Baron and kill it in 10 seconds or less. So the Dragon Spawn actually helps them a lot in this game, because without Mountain Drakes, the closing of the game would actually be a little bit of a struggle for GAM. Their siege is atrocious. Look at their champions; they can't siege at all. They can only look for picks now, and maybe tower dives even with a lot of tankiness.
Yep, absolutely. As you were saying, yesterday, in game 1, obviously that was the game that DBL won, and it looked. I wouldn't say dominant, but it looked pretty solid from DBL. But going into the second game, where obviously GUM won, we criticised that despite the fact that they were pretty much ahead at all points of the game, they didn't look like they had a super good plan to close it out based on their early game lead.
They pretty much brute forced the victories yesterday, just with
Exactly.
very good early game and laning plays. Their mid
We
game
didn't
still
really
is a little bit
get too
questionable.
much of a. I mean, game 3, we didn't get much of a mid game to judge
No.
because they were so far ahead that they could have done, as I think you said on the cast, you could have put some plat players in and they still would have won.
Yeah, that was
Just because of how
the
ahead they
insane
were.
advantage. That really was an insane advantage. Game 2,
Yeah.
though, was a little bit shaky in the East closeout.
Yeah, exactly. So that is one thing that with this resurgence from GUM in the last 3 series, we do need to see just a little bit of shaping up because you need to be decisive, especially looking forward. Potentially, if GUM is going to end up playing against some international opponents, that's one thing that international opponents will absolutely destroy you for is if you're not decisive.
Yep. They remind me a little bit of the old Flash Wolves teams, especially at, I think, Worlds 2017 was the most appalling Flash Wolves performance, when they always got ahead in the early game and were not able to close out to save their lives. They got to 60 minutes against C9 after 8k gold lead or something like that, and still lost the game in the end because they had no idea how to play around Baron. Speaking of Baron,
Yep, it has started here. Yoshino is engaging. He's straight onto DivKid. Has to pull back here. He's actually going to go down. That Lux ult does so much damage. It doesn't matter that the early pick happened.
oh, Song
Tier 1 tries to use an eco ult, but it doesn't matter. This Silas has done precisely nothing this game. And in the end, it's a 2-for-1. Baron is stopped here by EVOS, and that's a win in some books. But I think they're going to lose an inhibitor anyway.
Yeah, they lost their ADC and top laner, so now the composition doesn't really do
Ooh,
anything
they
anymore.
might lose their mid laner. Yeah, that was a good little dodge, but...
Yeah, they have Rek'Sai, Nautilus, and Silas still standing. What are those 3 champs supposed to do in combination? Not a whole lot is the answer.
I'm honestly... DivKid respawn, so I suppose you don't want to overcommit to that inhibitor.
They should just
Pretty cool,
rush the dragon and then go for Baron.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing. We see pinks from EVOS actually on the Baron. They want to go for the Hail Mary Baron. Interesting call.
I mean, that's probably one of the best plays they've got available.
Their Baron, how great is their Baron? They don't actually have that much Baron damage, especially with Kaiser not on her third item yet, but another team fight.
Ooh, terrible. Really bad Sejuani ult there by Levi. This could be a team fight going in the favour of EVOS, but never
Hugh!
mind. Hugh comes in. There is a kill picked up here for EVOS. This is actually going really wrong for GAM. 2 kills for EVOS. Actually, no, it's 3. I'm telling a lie. The Rek'Sai ult is used as well. Oh no, this has all gone wrong. 4 kills for EVOS.
GAM, what have you done? Overextension, not calling back there. They wanted to get the dragon, but didn't start it immediately. Looked for another fight, and that was they way overstayed their welcome. Not a good look for GAM, and now they will lose the Baron. And this game might actually be back to a little bit more of a competitive state. We saw their struggles with their full melee composition, and as you rightfully pointed out, the Levi ult was atrocious and didn't start off the fight well. Slay, can you be the hero? Ooh, close
He
enough.
cannot. Close. That's disaster. Levi. This is so split from GAM. It's almost arrogant.
Yeah, Kiaya tries to go on Divkit, but look at Kiaya. He's actually not that tanky on the Renekton. I think, yeah, he didn't activate his Dominus. So without the ult, Renekton not too strong. You see Slay doing his best. Another very good binding from Slay, but yeah, without an ADC to profit from range, he couldn't actually impact the fight that much. Zorn getting caught, getting there over the wall. Another Mountain Drake at least picked up for GAM, so the next Baron is still a good opportunity for them. They need to get back on track. They need to get more kills in the next fights. They still should have the advantage, looking at the item timings.
Yeah, I mean they've still got a 3k gold lead, and I mean the big question I have is I didn't think it was going to matter due to the game state, but I think this Lux build is actually going to come into play.
Yeah.
Because redemption first, like I don't understand that.
Yeah, it's really not
It's
great.
better to get an FE.
Especially
Surely.
look at the champs you're playing with. You have all four. No, okay, maybe not Nico, but even Nico to a certain extent profit from attack speed a lot. So Ardent Sensor is the best item for Lux. It already is, regardless of composition, because you can insta proc on all 5 champions. But yeah, it's so great in this composition. You have Irelia, she likes attack speed and she likes the on-hit damage as well. So you see another engage attempted.
Yep. Levi taking a bit of damage. We also, worth noting, Levi hasn't gone for that Warmogs that we often see on Sejuani. He's gone for Gargoyle Stoneplate and the Zeke's Convergence.
Yeah.
So
that's a little bit of the 913 kicking in because Sejuani lost 10 HP per level, so her level breakpoint for Varmox to actually work as a second item is way later now, which means she
absolutely. Ooh, good ult there onto Coyote, and Dia1 trying to go in here with the stolen Nico ult, but doesn't actually do a huge amount of damage. Hugh pops his own, Dia1 taking so much damage, but in the front line, Kiaya has gone down. Did a lot of damage though, so it should be okay. Sorn manages to get away. 2 for 1 so far. The inhibitor should fall, and this looks like it's GAM back on track after the blip we saw in the Baron.
Even though EVOS secured the Baron, they were not able to assert any dominance on the map. Completely ceded all the control to GAM, and GAM profits with a very good engage, and they engaged right in front of the gates of EVOS' base. So getting another very good objective there with the inhibitor kind of having a cake and eating it too for GAM.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, though, this is like we predicted that GAM was going to win this game, but it's worth looking into how they're going about it, and I think the comments we've made in that they have looked a little bit sloppy in closing games out holds true here.
Yeah, it's very scrappy.
We do need to see GAM cleaning this up.
Yeah, look at this again. So they are pushing in, and EVOS... Yeah, Coyote with a very big mistake there. Coyote, you can never go into the front line. You're a tanky Karma, but not tanky enough. And he actually got out of the initial engage because he's very tanky, as I just said earlier. But they still lost all position, and then Zorn goes back in. He's a very useless late game Rek'Sai. He can just try to get a little bit of attention and give Divkit time to freely auto attack. But Divkit was way too far back to actually impact the fight. So in the end, GAM's strong triple melee frontline composition got to shine in this situation. We have seen another team fight where they actually couldn't do anything, so it's still a little bit on a nice edge in terms of team fighting. It's only 3k gold now, and look at Kaiser's item.
I was about to point that out. That is very interesting. Going a little bit of that AP. That is something we've seen recently. Divkid, he's online. He can carry this. This game's not as over as it should be.
Yeah, I have to say he should, if the game goes longer, if he hit 40 minutes, he should probably adapt this build and go to crit, because I think crit in this situation is better against the big tanky targets in the front line. This build, usually the stronger pick style build, the stronger burst build, more immediate burst damage on the W, and then jumping in with ult is usually the play pattern for AP Kaisers. Yeah, I don't really think the AP Kaiser is that great into the enemy composition, but it's the stronger 3-item power spike, so right now it's still okay. I think if the game goes later, he needs to adapt his build and go back to crit.
Yep, I agree, as my stream decides to drop to 44, so hopefully we don't lose our sync. Sorry, internet issues are the absolute bane of my existence.
Very sad. Sad things happening in Australia.
Always. When you're talking about internet, at least. But anyway, sorry, I have to sort my stream out.
Yeah, I'll cover for now. The dragon has spawned, and the next Baron will be live in a few seconds. We actually don't get a timer on the broadcast, which is a little bit unfortunate. Should be something around 20 seconds right now, maybe even less. The next Baron is looking great for GAM, because they have complete position. We see the Fog of War toggle for EVOS right now. They don't have any vision on the Baron, but wow, I just thought Levi went in there, but it's only the clone for Hugh. Yeah, okay.
I think.
And Dia1 has finally hit level 16, so he can spam ults. I was a little bit taken aback by the Sejuani ult being freely used there to fish for anything.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, but when you are a level 16 Silas, you can totally do that.
Yeah.
The abscond cooldown is so ridiculously low at this point. Especially since I think he wants to prioritize stealing the Nico ult in team fights, because...
yeah, he has already shown great effect with the Nico ult. Oh,
yep.
Okay, that's another Dia1 ult. Okay.
That Lux ult does so much damage. Fighting in this corridor is really bad for EVOS. This has been a really terrible engage, and it should be the end of the game. Dia1 getting hunted down by Yoshio.
Oh wow, Divkit actually gets out. They failed to prioritize him. Oh, that could have been a really big mistake there by Yoshino, actually. He thought his teammates had the Kaiser locked down, but Kaiser against Nico can just dodge her skill shots. And that actually was closer than... too close for comfort for GAM. And in the end, they still win and will win the game as well. And 32 minutes. A little bit... once again showing a little bit of the messy mid-game. Almost threw away the game with the Baron, with the Dragon fight at 26 minutes. Wait,
Oh, MVP inhibitor. This actually matters. This
is super important.
They can't even get the inhib.
Oh,
this game is getting spicy.
So Divkit gets another chance to carry it. We already saw Divkit is a problem for GAM. This time, EVOS can never fight like that again. Please never group up against Nico, Lux, even Sejuani in that kind of shape there. Cornered by many rocks in the jungle. But yeah, now they know, and Divkit still was a problem for GAM. So yeah, look at this fight again. Yeah, you can. That's just EVOS. No.
Going into this corridor is one of the absolute worst calls.
And look at Slay.
Look how much damage.
Yeah, Slay with a very good binding once again. And Levi hits the perfect TFT Sejuani ult. Divkit, look at this. Looks like Divkit is instantly dead. But now Levi as well as Yoshino abandon Divkit there, and Hugh alone can't kill Divkit. He's just Wow.
No, no way. Oh, Div
But it
Kid
doesn't
gets cleaned up.
matter, because Divkit
Yep,
just gets caught out and the game will end. Well, that is a little bit anticlimactic. That's a little bit sad
that's
to see.
super anticlimactic. But yeah, Div Kid. I'm not sure what he was doing so far forward there. This is EVOS. You've got to fight now. You don't have a next. You don't have Nexus turrets. Do what you can. But this should be GAM picking up game one much later than they should have. Really delayed, but in the end, win's a win, and we do see them going up 1-0 here in our first series of the night.
Yep, still a little bit disappointed in the mid game, but in the end, GAM pulled through. They once again showed super great laning, especially on Yoshino's side. Levi playing around the top laner. They picked up their dream composition, ignore bot lane, play around solo laners, and they were able to pull through. They still need to work a lot on their mid game and late game coordination, but they get away with game one victory, and EVOS goes back to the drawing board.
Yep, and I think lots of things are going to have to be drawn up because
Especially different
you've
band
got that.
strategies, I think. My god.
Yeah, that seems very silly to give away pretty much like the blind pick draft to Gum there. Uh, I don't understand the jungle pinch strat when you're pinching him onto Sejuani. Like,
Yeah,
if
I
you're gonna
think
push a jungle,
they watched too much DBL yesterday. I think yeah, the Silas flex was absolutely unnecessary. Let them
yeah,
have Rek'Sai. Like Rek'Sai will not do that much more compared to the Sejuani, and you're not even sure if they will go for the Rek'Sai. Maybe they still go for the Sejuani. Then you have one of the best matchups for Silas ever, with Silas into Sejuani, actually in the jungle matchup where it belongs. You don't have the problem of the Silas solo lane struggling into Renekton. But to be fair to Dia, he actually had a pretty good laning phase into Kiaya, Renekton.
yep, absolutely agree. Uh, it it's very difficult to do a super huge amount of analysis of this game because obviously Gum do walk away with the win, but I feel like they're not gonna feel too great about it
No, they
because they
shouldn't.
should have won about 10 minutes earlier.
They shouldn't feel
And
great about themselves.
yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. So hopefully they can shape up in game two because they should 2-0 here.
absolutely, especially
Absolutely.
after seeing the early game. And this game already showed a little bit of the worst case scenario for GAM. Because I think their early game, they will win almost every early game against EVOS, looking at this game. And they almost threw away the game, so next game should be better, right?
Yep, absolutely. It should be. So we'll have to find out.
MVP. Who will be your MVP of this game? It's actually not too easy to decide, I think, because after the laning phase, there were many mistakes from almost every player on GAM's side.
I think I'm gonna go with Levi. He had a super huge impact on the Central Army. He
Yeah,
was everywhere.
it's fair. I thought about Yoshino or Slay. I actually liked Slay's team fighting once again. I think he's one of the best Luxes in terms of team fighting. But his build and his early mistakes kind of turn me against him. I guess Levi is a good pick. I'll agree with Levi. Why not give it to him? On the
Yep.
Sejuani, we actually don't give MVPs to Sejuanis that often, but this
No,
time
we
it's
don't.
deserved. And it's his first MVP on our stream, so
Yeah.
about
Wow.
time, I
That's
think.
surprising.
Yeah, I would have
But
loved to give him the MVP for this Karthus game, but they sadly threw away the game, so yeah, unlucky for him.
yep, it's not great. But we'll have to see if they can follow that into game two.
Yeah, see you in 5 minutes for the next game in this series. The last game, maybe? Maybe EVOS can come back? Let's see.
Maybe.
Welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 between EVOS and GAM. We just saw a strange game of League of Legends. Looked absolutely like it would be absolutely over at 16 minutes with 6k gold lead for GAM, and then they fooled around, threw away a Baron, and the game actually became close again. They give over the MVP to Yoshino. What do you think of that choice?
I mean, I think he was in the conversation for sure. Obviously, had a good KDA, which is sometimes enough for the official broadcast, but I think he made some pretty crucial mistakes in team fights.
Yeah, I think
Obviously, in the end, not punished, but
his laning phase still was super great. I have no idea how he actually punished the Karma this much in the early game. And
yeah.
he's still looking like the best laning top laner in the league. I think it's fine to give him the MVP, but Levi has deserved the MVP as well. Yoshino overall just a very high base level, I think, so always in the MVP discussion, because every game looks great from him. I'm a
Yep.
huge fan, I have to say. After the last few weeks and games I've seen from him, I'm just really impressed by Yoshino's performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yoshino looking like one of the best players in the league at the moment. Best top laner. I think we both agree on that.
Yeah,
Uh,
especially after absolutely murdering Razor yesterday.
exactly. Before the games yesterday, I probably would have still given it to Razor, but after Yoshino just dismantled him, I think it's pretty hard to argue that Razor is better than Yoshino after that.
Yeah, and Razor will get a little bit of redemption time in the second series of the day against Cerberus, so they can give him a carry and let him run over the game against Cerberus. That shouldn't be the biggest task for him. You should absolutely dominate everything there. But now we're back in game 2, and GAM is on blue side. What will the changes be in draft phase?
Well, I mean, I don't think GAM needs to change much up, honestly. They got the
Very true.
perfect draft, and EVOS ban out the Heimerdinger, and we were saying just between the game that if you're going to ban the Heimerdinger, you need to ban the Nico as well.
Yeah, it doesn't
There's
make any
no point.
sense. It doesn't make any sense to ban out the Heimerdinger and leave the Nico open. They fulfill the same role. They want to secure a bot laner that can push the wave and doesn't need attention, and Heimerdinger and Nico can fill the same role there. So please ban out the Nico if you start with the Heimerdinger ban, because I think Nico is the first pick worthy champ for GAM. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree on that front. It's just going to be interesting here to see how EVOS reacts. So far, not banning out anything that beat them in the last game. Pretty honestly, looking a little bit similar overall these drafts.
Yeah.
Not sure how I feel about that.
And
I feel like
another
EVOS.
point about EVOS, they still field the same roster. They actually trust in Coyote and No Way after a questionable performance, especially from Coyote in the top lane. But it was his first really bad top lane game, I would say. 3 games on stage, sadly 3 losses so far, and no Nico first pick.
Yeah, no, they're gonna grab Slay's Lux, which I mean, I can't hate. Slay is an incredible Lux player, and I think getting him onto it at every opportunity is a really good decision.
Yeah,
Um,
and they might try to bait EVOS on the Nico right now and try to answer with Irelia, a very famous counter matchup. And we have seen Yoshino's proficiency on the Irelia. It's not banned out. I'd like to see EVOS go for the Irelia instead, maybe even Nico Irelia in this rotation, because why not? You have 2 solo lines. Maybe DivKit can even play Nico as well. Shouldn't be too hard to learn the Nico, to be honest. I really don't like
no,
this. Oh,
I hope this goes jungle.
I
That's
mean,
all I can say.
yeah, it's a super great jungle pick, but I think you need to pick the Irelia here. You have seen Yoshino on a 2 game murdering streak on Irelia. Why would you give away the Irelia once again to Yoshino? I don't understand this drafting approach.
Yeah, it seems super flawed. We know that Tier 1 is a good Irelia player, can absolutely play it. Like, Coyote maybe isn't confident on the pick. We
He has
don't
picked her
know. But
already.
Tier
I
1,
mean, it's one
true,
of the two
yeah.
champs he has picked already. I think he should be fine on the Irelia as well. Especially if you bring in a rookie top laner, he has to be able to play Irelia. She's the meta
Absolutely.
champion right now. So Irelia secured, probably for Yoshino. Why not follow up with the Renekton here? Just go for the same draft again. I'd like to see Renekton here. Just delay the jungle. Levi can play anything he wants. It doesn't really matter. Yeah,
Absolutely. This is
it's
so
so
disappointing
easy
from
to do.
EVOS. Why are you letting them run this back?
I have no idea, and it's so easy to
You got
predict the draft from
absolutely
GAM.
obliterated.
It's actually super easy because the mid laner for them, Kiaya, is not a mid laner. He's a top laner. He has only played top lane champs. I like to say that in every
He was
GAM
lost
cast
in
because it's super interesting. His most played is Renekton. He has played Irelia. He has played Kled. And let me see what the last champ for him was. Aatrox. He has played Aatrox, Yasuo, so only champs that have been top laners before. Not a single mage, not a single AP champ even. So I mean, maybe you can target Kiaya sometime in the draft. Let him have a mid lane champ and see if he's actually able to play mid lane champs.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be interesting, trying to force him on that. But we do see now the jungle bans are coming in again, but this time
Why?
they actually banned Sejuani.
Why? You don't
Well,
ban
I mean, banning
Sejuani with
Sejuani.
Silas jungle. No, that's the counter matchup. You don't ban Sejuani if you're running Silas jungle. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, we don't even know that this is Silas jungle yet.
Yeah, and that's the
After the
sad
last,
part about this statement. Yeah.
I'm not happy that I have to say that because it absolutely should be Silas jungle. And I mean, with the Camilla, the Nico pick, it's almost 100% locked in.
I'd hope so. I mean, they could
You
flex
would.
the Camille into jungle and Silas into mid again to insta lose the game for no reason at all.
This is annoying me. This jungle pinch strat, I just don't think it's good. Like,
Maybe it's actually the support flex.
maybe,
I I legitimately think support Silas is the thing, and we saw DBL win with it. Will be hard
but
into Lux though.
is it better than Silas jungle? Is the
No, it's
question.
not better than Silas jungle.
Yeah, which is like, I mean, like again, you can do some cool things like if they try and push Levi onto weird champions, but there's so many viable junglers at the moment. Like he can play Gragas, he can play Rek'Sai, he can play Jarvan. Like you're
Oh,
not
this
gonna
champ
push him onto
exists in the VCS? I'm so surprised. We
whoa,
never see
Ezreal?
Ezreal. I love Ezreal, but why is Ezreal never picked up? By the way, I want to point out IND, or however I am supposed to pronounce your name. This point, I made the same point yesterday. I think GAM is very reminiscent of 2018 G2. We have the mage priority player in the bot lane who will never be played around in Hugh, and super strong solo laners you want to play around. So this is a very good comparison. I made the same connection. It's actually, this GAM is 2018 G2. Not 2019 G2, but 2018 G2 got to semifinals at Worlds as well. So not the worst comparison
2018
ever.
G2 was good. Yeah. Now this is an interesting comp here from Gum.
Yeah, what is this about? Wait a moment.
Is this Hugh playing Lux?
Yeah, it might just be. I just
It's
thought the same
Galio
thing.
Lux Pod, surely?
Yeah, Slay has played both champs, and he's the only support Galio is still remaining. I think this is Lux bot lane.
I mean, I'm not sure how I feel
I
about
love
that.
the
Just
top side
because
for Gum. I love the top side. I think,
the top side.
yeah, the top side is once again super great. It's AD, AP, AD, the best thing you can pick for top side. You have priority, you have the best matchup for Irelia in the game, probably, into Nico. She will absolutely destroy Nico in lane. Renekton wins every melee matchup anyway. Maybe not against Mordekaiser, we have to see about that. And then bot lane, if this is another priority bot lane, I'm absolutely fine with bot lane Lux. I mean, just pick bot lanes that don't need attention. That's all the GAM has to do. And probably the reason they don't play their traditional ADC Minis and instead play Hugh, because he's able to pick mages that can get priority or at least lane control on their own. I've never
Yep,
seen a bot lane
absolutely.
Lux. I have no idea what bot lane Lux does, but let's go.
I mean,
Let's go.
I've seen plenty of bot lane Luxes, but
In the support position, you mean?
not in that
Okay,
role.
okay, okay.
In the support position. So I mean, I'm not sure how I feel about this, just because of how good Slay is at Lux. It seems like a little bit of a waste taking him off that,
Yeah.
but at the same time, as you point out, it fits Gum's playstyle. Like that Galio Lux, that you may as well go to their jungler's monitor and just sharpie over the bot side of the map.
And by the
He's
way,
not going.
I absolutely hate what EVOS has done with the bot lane. I said I like the S wheel, but against GAM, picking a defensive lane against GAM on the bot lane doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you give
Nope.
them their strategy for the game? You need to challenge bot lane to win against GAM. You need to try to exploit their bot lane and their non-traditional ADC, because you won't win the solo lanes. You just won't win against Kiaya and Yoshino in the solo lanes, especially not on Irelia and Renekton, their favorite champs. So I don't understand the strategy coming in for EVOS. Once again, a little bit of a head scratcher.
Yeah, you can say that again. And for once, we see a Arcane Comet Lux, and I'm not annoyed about it. Because, of course, that's not a support Lux.
Yeah,
This is so strange to how we analyze this. One thing that I do want to point out is team fights are going to be messy for
I
GAM.
mean, GAM wants messy teamfights all the time. They play
True,
so
but
many melee
for
champs.
melee,
They want a messy teamfight. For melee again, just like last game. Oh no, they actually had 3 melees only, because Lux is not a melee champ, and Nico isn't one either. But yeah, no ADC, no traditional team fighting coming in for GAM. They want to scrap, they want to skirmish. Actually, 5v5 teamfights is not something GAM wants to do ever. They want to have advantages in the side lane and look for skirmishes and picks. And we saw them lose a 5v5 teamfight in the last game. They only won the game because DivKid, for some reason, was wandering around in the mid lane.
yep,
That was very
just having a,
sad to see.
he was having a bit of a gaze up the mid lane, and it didn't work out for him. Turns out they didn't want to let him go home.
And by the
But we're
way,
gonna have to see.
did we see the
Sorry,
Lux items? Oh, sad.
it was
Okay.
Door 3.
Yeah, that's a
It was
little bit
Door
sad.
3.
I wanted to see the double support item bot lane, because I actually think that's a little bit underutilized. I played a lot of double support item in the last few days on various gems. We like to go Garen Yumi, for example, or we tried
You
something.
really want this Garrett Yubi?
Yeah, I like Garen
Third
Yumi is
awful
so
time
fun.
you mentioned
Garen Yumi is
it.
so fun. But yeah,
I
it
hope
actually
someone sends
can
you your way.
it can be super great if you go. We played Veigar and Nico as well. Veigar picking up the CS in the beginning, and then Nico transitioning over to CSing once she got her support quest finished. And you get
Good
so much vision
teammates.
control, it's insane. It's really strong. I actually think the
Yeah,
strategy is a little bit underutilized in pro play.
yeah. I mean, we do see that obviously with the Sona lanes typically,
Yep.
but we're not. We haven't so much seen it in anything else. I think the fear is that if you're running that kind of thing
Wait, what?
against what I'm not sure what just happened. There was just flashes, but
And that
um,
looked super clunky because of the stream lag as
yeah,
well. Yeah,
yeah,
a
that was
little bit
on both ends
unfortunate
of the
there.
lag. Bad timing on the mainstream deciding to lag, but is Paul? Ooh, this blue buff, Levi.
Oh,
You're in
good
some
flash.
trouble here, mate. Ooh, yeah, very nice flash there. After the hook shot was committed to, so Dia1 could not follow. He even gets the smite. Ooh, burns the flash out of Dia1 as well. So many flashes being burned. It's a bit of a party.
And they actually swapped the lanes, which is super good for the matchups, because both matchups are way better in swapped lanes. So the top lane rookie Coyote now playing mid lane, and Dia1 trying to hold up against Yoshino on the top lane, which will be a hard task. But Dia1 is one of the most impressive players on EVOS, so maybe he's able to hold down Yoshino in lane. So far, at least he has not fallen behind in CS. Same goes for Coyote, so this lane setup seems to work out for EVOS in the early game at least.
Yep, also worth noting, Levi is well on the way to getting 3 buffed, which is a very bad time. He had his blue buff stolen, and he's not going to be able to contest Thorn's red by any means. He's gone back, so that's not a good start for this Gragas. He's very far behind this Silas. Let's see
Yes.
if EVOS can actually turn that into anything.
Oh,
That's going to be
Yoshino.
tricky.
Wow, that was
Ooh,
risky.
taking power shot.
Yeah, Yoshino still has lane priority, but he's actually behind in CS if the wave gets cleared here, so he missed a few of those. Dia1 still trading into the minion wave. This is... Ooh,
Ooh,
Yoshino drops super low, but very lucky level up there. So now he... Does he spot
and the
Zorn? Yeah,
time
he
warp,
had spotted Zorn.
and the time warp tonic as well.
What?
So, whoa,
Zorn!
Thorn,
That was just...
buddy.
What happened to Zorn this week? Zorn actually looks super off this week. And wow, there was no way this gank would be successful. The best you could hope for is a flash for Yoshino. And he doesn't even get the flash, invests his own. This is a really big blunder from Swarm. Now back to
Maybe this is why they put
even
Silas
in
mid.
flash. My, that was.
It's
I hated to
incredibly
see
bad.
that. Yeah, that was really bad. At least they get a big CS lead for DR1 in the top lane, which is great for the beginning of the game, I guess. This is a very intriguing top lane matchup. If these champs stay in the top lane and the side lane matchup, Irelia against the Camille. I actually like Dia's rune choice in this game. Not challenging the Irelia on the Conqueror 1v1, instead going
Yep.
for early and quick trades on the PTA. Yep, good choice.
Yep, that they are. And obviously the plan was to switch those lanes. These matchups are obviously pretty tailored for DR1 to go top and Coyote to go mid. Could potentially see a bit of a rumble here. Levi is in this bush, and
Wow, that
the
hit.
sword is in the wings, though. Oh, that was a really nice little stun there. DR1 in a lot of trouble as the flash forward, and he goes down.
And once again,
First blood.
first blood to Yoshino. Man, EVOS already doesn't like the sound of that. Actually,
Nope.
very good laning phase so far from DR1, but now the first blood came in for Yoshino. He's back to lane priority. He has pushed out the wave. Dia doesn't have his TP available. Will lose another wave. Ooh, this is already a little bit concerning.
Yeah, you don't want to see Yoshino picking up a first blood. That is just about as bad as it gets in terms of who can get first blood. Also, looking down at the interesting matchup in the bot lane that we had, it's pretty even at the moment, and I don't think that's good for EVOS. I feel like you made the very good point of why are you playing into what GAM wants?
Yeah, and this will not change. There's no
Why don't you
way
go
Ezreal
in?
TK can do anything in this lane.
Nope. Nope. And that's a real bad thing
Wait,
because that's all that GAM wants. Ooh,
Slay
Slay, just
looked
having a
for
bit
a
of a joke.
flash W there. I'm very glad he didn't go for the play. That
Would
was
have not been.
confusing. By the way, this is actually a very bad lane for Ezreal to farm his Klepto, because Lux can just clear from behind minions, so he'll never get any Qs on the Lux. He has to hope that Slay presents himself to be a little bit of a punching bag, a little bit of a pinata himself. I think
Yep,
this
but
Ezreal will not get too much money out of the Klepto in the laning phase.
no, overall, I don't like this Ezreal pick. I'm glad to see that Ezreal does exist on the Vietnamese client, but I'm not pleased to see it in this particular matchup at all. It's just not. I'm not sure what it does.
Yeah, I was really wondering why no one picked up Ezreal ever in the BCS. It seemed like Ezreal was completely dead in this week, and now the Ezreal comes in the worst possible spot. It's very unfortunate for Ezreal's play rate in Vietnam.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I still think the most baffling part of the champion select this week is that Kiana and Mordekaiser don't exist, pretty much.
Yeah,
Which is
Team Flash, the only team to play the Mordekaiser.
yep, but Kiana just not even drawing bans. When you look at the rest of the world, you'd think their top ban priority, which
Yeah, she's
is
actually 9-0 all over the globe. And the only
exactly.
big league that has played Kiana yet is LPL. One game for BLG Gaming, or Bilibili Gaming, no idea how yeah, I think it's Bilibili Gaming or BLG. So Kuro playing her actually didn't have the greatest game impact. He just got carried by his team. I watched the game for Kiana there, but yeah, overall I think Kiana is still definitely pickable. And I'm a little bit
Yeah,
surprised no one wants to try her. Maybe we see Cerberus trying to mix up things in the second series of today. Why not against DBL? They have nothing to
yeah. I
lose
mean,
there.
exactly. Cerberus, heavy underdogs in that matchup. You may as well try and pull out something crazy you can potentially catch DBL against. It's
Yeah.
possible. You never know.
Has been a
Uh,
little bit of a quieter early game, which, considering GAM's mid game blunders, I should say, might favor EVOS. Now, first dragon though coming in for GAM, and this is a super strong laning dragon. Irelia likes this one a lot. bot lane likes this one even more, especially Lux. So the laning might just continue for 5 more minutes. There's no real fight set up right now. Bot lane, top and mid lane are not too volatile matchups, especially if Dia and Yoshino don't go for trades. So yeah, this is just a farming fest. Ooh.
Ooh, out comes the Lux ult there. Interesting. This is just. I'm not sure. This is, yeah, as you pointed out, this has been a very slow early game here. I'm not 100% sure who that benefits based on team comp. You make the very correct observation that based on play, it might benefit EVOS because you force GAM to play that mid game a bit longer
And
and
on
from
even
not so far
footing.
ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, but overall, I'm still just not sure with this bot lane. I'm just not sure how this works out in the end.
And by the way, we once again see our favorite VCS play give up platings in the bot lane to secure to 5-man stack on top of Rift Herald. I really don't like this rotation. We have seen so many times now. At least it's against an Asriel, so Asriel is actually not able to push on the turrets too quickly. He gets one solo plating, and giving up one solo plating to the Asriel is not too bad. You'll get a total of around 420 gold out of the Rift Herald, 100 for the secure, 320 for the 2 platings you'll get. So it's still gold advantage, but it's a lot of resources invested for just about a 300 gold advantage secured. So this, yeah, has been the VCS week 3 rotation around Rift Herald, and I don't like it, I have to say.
Yeah, no, it's not good. Ooh, Yoshino, though, you're in so much trouble here. The Hextech Ultimatum is down. Can he get the outplay here on Deal 1? Actually, whoa, he's alive! Splash away from Deal 1. The teleport's been called. Coyote's here. Ooh, Yoshino, he's still caught up again, and he does finally go down, as does Levi. I feel like they could have backed out there once the TP was coming in.
Yeah, Dia once engaged did not hit Yoshino. He didn't get stunned there. So that was a huge point in the fight. They tried to burst down Yoshino, but he actually was not stunned, so he was able to respond in time. In the end, he still gets caught off guard by the teleport and flash from Coyote invested there. And 2 kills go over to EVOS, who get the gold lead. So good play from EVOS. Finally, for once in a game against GAM, in the gold lead.
Yeah, this is surprising.
Yeah, look at this again.
We very
Does
rarely
not hit.
see. Yeah, he hit a minion. That's not good. Oof. And that was a super good ult out of Levi as well to make the Hextech Ultimatum a 1v1 rather than a 1v3. I think they should back off when they see this
Yeah,
TP.
I think they expected the Ezreal to come in. They got baited by too many TPs on the enemy team. They thought Divkit was teleporting there and didn't account for Coyote. And then, yeah, Coyote has more CC, has way more damage than Ezreal as well, especially in terms of AoE damage and AoE control. So they underestimated the capabilities of Coyote there, and Coyote, yeah, got a lot of gold out of that play. Many kills going over to EVOS.
Absolutely.
Back to absolutely even footing now. 30 seconds still remaining on the platings, and they might go for one more plating in the top lane. Ooh, good flash.
That was. Yeah, this will be interesting to see how Gum does from behind here because we don't see them in this position coming out of the early game really at all, especially not the last 3 series.
No, they have consistently won the
What
early
do they do?
game. We have to see. We have to wait and see. Are they actually able to cleanly play out a 1-3-1 setup? Oh, Yoshino gets caught up once again. Coyote and
Yeah,
Dia1 on top of
Yoshino
him.
going down here. You're in some trouble, mate.
Yeah, this is super good for EVOS in the side lane matchup. Aurelia will kind of inevitably outscale the Camille at some point, but it takes a lot of time. I think it's at 3, maybe 3.5 items where Aurelia will be stronger, especially looking at the keystones picked up. But right now, Yoshino cannot fight Dia on even ground. Maybe in a long lane, might be able to chase him down, but it's still very risky. So the big top lane advantage they usually have with Yoshino dominating his lane is not the case in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And considering the last few games have been a bit of the Yoshino show, we're going to have to see what the adjustment is here. Where do they fight around? It looks like they will be giving up this dragon. So where's the point of pressure that GAM tries to come back into this game?
Yeah, very good question. Looking at their composition, it's the usual early game skirmishing comp with Lux to bridge into the later stages of the game. I think they have very good 4-1 or even 1-3-1 if they are able to play around that. We have seen the VCS team struggle a little bit to play out clean split push games.
Absolutely.
But yeah, Lux is super great at clearing
Yoshino.
waves, and Yoshino is once again called out.
Yeah, Yoshino. God, there. I think EVOS might have heard us talking about how he was the best top laner in the VCS, and they said, "Oh, Zeros, he's such a good friend of ours. Want to make sure he's got a spot."
Yeah, Zeros
And
is very relieved looking at this game after Yoshino absolutely murdered everyone in the last few series he played. Now Zeros might be able to compete for the spot again. But yeah, this
yep.
that death was not really on Yoshino, to be fair to him, because there was nothing he could do. No vision, no assistance in the bottom side of the map. He was close to his turret, so you can't really fault him for overextending or anything like that. So in the end, just a very clean pick for EVOS, capitalizing on their strong side of the map.
Absolutely. The real mistake there is the fact that GAM didn't do anything with it. They got some damage on the mid tower, but it's not down yet. It should fall with this wave, which is certainly a boon. But we need to see GAM really start doing something because I feel like if this goes into an even mid game, I don't think GAM does well there.
No, especially looking at their composition, EVOS with the more traditional uh, ADC, mage, bruiser, double bruiser, you could say, for top and jungle composition. That should be way easier to play out in the mid game. It's not like EVO's hard outscales GAM, I would say, because Lux is still can be super dangerous in the later game team fights, especially if she hits a good combination. Then yeah, if Divkit just gets caught and insta dies, or no way even, then GAM can still win team fights, but it's so much harder to play compared to EVO's very easy composition. And so far they have secured a good side lane advantage on DR1 as well, so it's not even like they lose the side lane pressure right now. So EVOS with all hands in their all cards in their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. If EVOS is going to win a game, this is basically the setup they need. Dead even gold at 17 minutes, and GAM playing this 4 melee comp that sort of needs a lead. I know I sound a bit like a broken record, but the fact that they haven't gotten ahead here is just huge.
Yeah, and if GAM ends up losing this game and have to make adjustments, I think it's not in the pick and ban phase, it's in the lane swap phase, where EVOS actually caught them off guard. They had two very good matchups secured for their solo laners, and usually their solo laners absolutely run away with the game. But they got caught in the wrong matchups and didn't try to readjust, which is a little bit surprising, considering the matchups are so much better for Renekton into Camille and Irelia into Nico as well. They didn't even try to swap back. Maybe a little bit of arrogance coming in from the solo laner saying, okay, whatever the matchup, we'll just dominate. And that's clearly not the case in this game.
No, exactly. DR1 doing very, very well. You did point him out as a bit of the shining light for EVOS. Very good player. So I hope it wasn't arrogance. You don't really want to see that, but I think it potentially could have been because there was nothing stopping them from swapping back.
Yeah.
Uh, it was just they chose not to, and it's really hurt them. Yoshino 1-3 at the moment. Kiaya has done okay. He's triple zeros and actually has a minor CS lead over his lane opponent, but obviously Nico has a kill, so gold wise,
Yeah, well,
she's ahead.
a small tip if you look at pro play Renekton's, is the Renekton ahead? You can see the Renekton being ahead at his itemization. If he has the very ugly green thing of nightmares in his inventory, he's ahead. If not, he's probably behind. So, yeah, he
True.
doesn't have the ugly green thingy. So it's a little bit of a behind or even Renekton, which is not too great. Usually your Renekton is supposed to be ahead and diving into the backline and one-shotting carries. This will not be the case with Kiaya.
Very true. He will have to play. I mean, I was about to say he has to play a more traditional frontline role, but that's just GAM. They're all frontline, aren't they?
Yeah,
It's just going to be four people on the front line and then Hugh behind them trying to be the artillery.
yeah, and right now they will run into big damage problems, especially with Yoshin not being able to be the primary carry in terms of damage from behind. I don't think Lux has enough damage to carry a team fight if she doesn't hit all the spells. I think there is a possibility for Lux to be able to do that, but it's not as likely. It's not as consistent as a usual AD carry.
There's the stolen Gragasol used very early. Nothing really capitalized off it, but Levi's caught in the pit. The Dragon is actually picked up by Yoshino there, and two kills. Sorry, two kills going down, one each for each team. Coyote does pick up Levi, though. There's the Galio ult used. Yoshino on the front line, he's on no health, and he does go down. Sorn charging forward along with No Way. The health bar's not looking good for GAM. Coyote really, really low, though. No Way just goes down to the Renekton. The Crocodile Rock, putting it in the jaws. And now that EVOS has to run away, GAM gets the team fight in their
Oh
favor.
wow, nice try.
Ooh, good shot.
Yeah, you might be a little bit behind me again, sadly,
I
but
think I
yeah,
am.
looking at the team fight first and then rethinking in the lull state afterwards. Look at DivKit once again getting caught out. A little bit of flame has to be thrown No Way's way as well. Please gobble up your ADC if he's in trouble. I mean, he's not supposed to get caught by the Lux Q, but if he does, just gobble him up, please. And yeah, neither bot laner played this fight really well, and I have no idea what No Way is doing here. Why he's overextending into Renekton? That's yeah, that there was no reason to do that. And Coyote very lucky with the Ocean Drake spawn, and he actually dodges the ult, so fair enough. But
He got hit by the
even the
splash.
Ludens would have killed him if not for the Ocean Drake getting him back to 200 HP. So let's sync back up at 2205.
Yep, 2204, 2205. That would have sounded a bit out of sync, I imagine. Not a good look, not a good look, but hopefully we get it back. All good here. As you said, no, DivKid just not having the impact in that fight. Partly his fault because he absolutely should not be getting hit by a luck Q, but also why pick a time? Oh, Q. uh, Come on, that was really ugly, but not the greatest thing ever, but whatever. It's okay. We can forgive him for missing one cannon. Overall, he still had a pretty good game so far. Was super stable in the bot lane, which is exactly what GAM wanted him to do. Yeah, I mean, he could have just given it to play, right? Like, I don't know. No, he ate a lot of nerfs in a row. No, oh no. Yeah, absolutely. They're happy to see as many Mountain Drakes as possible. Baron, as always, a little bit salty. Can't blame him. Neighbors, terrible neighbors. Really should get a bit of a homeowners complaint going in there if I was Baron. But in the end, there, I don't know how well Gum fights around Baron. This for melee, they're going to take so much splash from Baron. If EVOS turns up to contest, they could actually be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
I think it's super difficult to execute. It's definitely doable, and I think they need Baron to win because their push is atrocious.
Yeah, once again, that's the typical GAM composition, right? You said before, 4 melee. 4 melee already means no push at all. You don't have any sieging potential. I mean, you still have a little bit of push with the side laners, but yeah, you can't really siege up. And now the dragon fight will once again erupt. Tier 1.
Yep. The dragon initially is secured. He makes up great flash taunt there by Slay. That laser does so much damage, as does the ult. The barrel came in into the party barrel, but here's the answer from Coyote, hitting a decent Nico ult there. Yoshino charging forward, but has to get away. Ezreal dealing that artillery strike from the back. Tier 1 tried to go in onto Q, but didn't manage to clean him up, and that's 2 clean kills picked up again.
Yeah, and another teamfight victory for GAM, which is a little bit surprising. We talked about EVOS probably having the easier to execute teamfights, but if you hit all your spells, I mean, yeah, you can absolutely win the teamfight. And oh wow, what is this?
Whoa, Yoshino with the TP. This has to be the turn call then, surely. This is a good flank. I don't think they've spotted him yet either. Now they have, obviously, but you're a little bit pinched here. I don't know if No Way's the... oh, no, that's Coyote. I'm wrong. I got baited. It was Coyote all along.
Oh
That's
wow,
a really
I thought
good
it was
pick.
No Way as well. Interesting. Well, yeah, the Nico once again fooling us here, but they only get one more pick. I think they should have committed to the Baron. No jungler alive. That would have been a super easy, super fast Baron. Don't understand why they want to go for further kills. A little bit of an over-aggressive choice there by Garmin, resetting the game once again, but they are sitting on 2 Mountain Drakes, so now Baron should be super easy to set up for in the next few minutes. Look at the super great
Absolutely.
Lux, yeah, as you said, Lux following up on the great Taunt Flash from his support. So bot lane carrying Gum in this game, interestingly.
Tier 1 does so little this fight as well. He's only just auto-attacked for the first time.
Yeah, he gets stunned, instantly killed.
He's tired.
Almost kills Hugh there.
Yep. I mean, he needs to be able to kill him. There was a really nice flash over the wall. Right after the laser was fired, he flashed away from D1. D1 sort of had to just awkwardly try and find his way back to Hugh, and he didn't in the end. So,
Yeah.
not ideal.
And Hugh has been super great this game. I'm impressed with this Lux play. We were kind of skeptical of the Lux. Why would you pick it in the bot lane? But so far he has executed on it in every teamfight and showed us that Lux is actually capable of carrying teamfights, especially if assisted by other picks like the Galio. Great taunts from Slay, showing us why he wants to play the Galio. If you hit all the 4 or 5 man taunts, I guess Galio is still a good pick, right? The CC
Yeah, I
is
mean,
still
if
the
you
same
do
CC.
that. Absolutely. And Barrett is started here. This goes down super quickly. That double Mountain Drake, even with only 3 people on it, it's still melting.
Oh, it's actually
EVOS
slower than
needs
I
to
would
find
have
a way.
anticipated.
What is here? Yeah, without... yeah, I suppose it's only 3 people hitting it, but it's very slowly going down. They're going to pull off it again.
Yeah, they had to.
Gum
This
looking
time, this time,
lost.
yeah, this time I have to say I agree with that choice because they were not able to really get a good read on Zorn. Zorn is 2 levels down on Levi. Okay, so Levi should have the confidence to be able to secure the Baron, but even then, 2 levels in such a chaotic Baron fight, probably with 10 people involved, is not that much. So yeah, I agree with Gam's choice in this case. I think they probably need more vision in the top side jungle around the Baron to be more safely approaching this objective.
Yeah, absolutely. It will. The one thing with that though is that if that's the case, if you're not going to go for the Baron when you've killed Sorn before, why do you go for it when he is up and they can so easily force you back? There's a little bit of that Gum looking lost in the mid game, which we don't like to see. We want to see them clean this up and get much more clean wins.
Yeah,
Because
especially
at
if
the
they
moment, this
continue
game
to
is
win like they did in
absolutely
game
up
one.
for grabs.
I mean, they seem to be a top team, right? They won against DBL. They won the first game. If they win this game, they are 4-2. So one of the top teams. They need to clean up their mid game.
Ooh, this is a catch though. There's a 3-man taunt there. Sword's dead. No way will go down as well. Has to be Baron.
And it's so disappointing on EVOS' side. They seem to be
It
completely
needs to
lost. They
be
have no
Baron.
idea where to position on the map, constantly getting caught. And GAM's comp is actually not that hard to read. You should be able to know what GAM's comp is supposed to do to you. They get caught by the Gragas once again, by the Lux continuously. So disappointing showing for EVOS after a good early game. Actually, the other way around compared to the game one, where GAM had the super great early game and then kind of slacked in the mid game. This time EVOS with a better early game. And look at this again. Yoshino with the flank. Don't understand the flash there from DivKid. Kyoto, he can't engage. And the top lane is not even there. So very good timing for GAM for the engage. And quite frankly, just an overextension from EVOS. They didn't account for their top laner being in the base. Oh, that
Oh,
was
they're not
very
even.
close.
Oh, they actually do manage to get the dragon. No, Levi with no smite. A little bit lucky there, but can DR1 get away here? He's getting pinched in on. I don't know if his team's going to be able to reinforce him in time. He's going to try and get damaged out on Levi. It's probably his best choice. Slay so far forward here, but he's so
Oh,
tanky. It
wow.
doesn't matter. Ooh, good Silas ult there, but great counter engage by Levi, and that is 3 kills picked up. And I think the pipes are calling here for EVOS. This is a bad time.
Yeah. The nails are set in place. They only need to be hit to in the coffin is still a little bit open, but it's
Yep.
a very very slight opening there.
Yeah, someone
Man,
call a necromancer, and that might be EVOS getting back in. Oh, the flash forward from Hugh didn't look good because he missed everything, but he's going for the attempt, but he ends up with the kill on Coyote
Coyote, what is
anyway.
that? That's just pure tilt play. What did they actually do there? Why was he standing right next to the inhibitor?
It was
That's
terrible.
and he has flash available. He had the opportunity to flash away. That's wow. That's really not a great play for the rookie there. Showing kind of an okay laning phase this time, but his late game performance so far hasn't been the greatest. As has all
Well,
of
yeah,
EVOS has been very
he
very
sort
much
of looked
struggling.
a bit more like a rookie.
Yeah.
He's made a lot of rookie errors, and that's Tom Kench going back to the swamp once more. And this should be serious.
What? What?
Oh!
My
Oh!
God! Hugh turning out the lights with his lightning thingy there.
Absolutely.
Final
Yeah. Using
sparks the enemy into
a bit of
the
a.
grave.
I still think it should be called Finalis Funkin. That was the best spell name. But this is game. This is
In all
Eve.
caps, by the
Sorry.
way. In all caps.
Yeah. Yep. GAM picking up another win. My word. They're a good team. They need to improve on a few things, but whew,
Yeah,
Hugh.
and very surprising turn of events in the game. Usually we say GAM is the best early game team and will win every early game. Even against DBL, they were able to win the early games. And they're a little bit
Yep.
shaky in mid game. And this time they fell behind in early game and actually looked super good in terms of coordination in the mid game. A little bit surprised. I like this look from GAM a lot because we see them being able to play around their bot lane as well, even though they picked 4 lanes once again. But Hugh absolutely carrying the fights with damage. Yoshino with a little bit of a quieter game, which is okay after so many carry games. He got carried a little bit by his bot lane performance. GAM looks like a top team.
Absolutely.
They are now sitting on 4 wins and 2 losses and a 4-series win streak, the longest of any team in the VCS right now.
Yeah, it's super impressive, and they are absolutely storming their way back into this split. We had a lot of criticisms for them in the early parts of this split, but my word, they look so good now.
Yeah, they have turned around everything from week one. Week one looked super shaky. Their early game already looked a little bit better than other teams, but their mid game coordination was absolutely horrific. They lost the series against QTV Gaming, one of our worst early game teams, after getting ahead in every game, 2-3K in the mid game, and then doing absolutely nothing. But now they really look like one of the top teams, maybe even the best team. Next week, they are finished for this week, so they can improve even more. And now 6 best of threes have been played, so Zeros is eligible to play again. But will you actually start Zeros? I'm not so
I'm
sure.
not sure. I think Yoshino is making a great case to stay in. I mean, maybe you bring Zeros in as a flex to other roles?
Maybe, yeah. GAM has shown to flex roles. Why not flex them
Yeah.
to bot lane maybe if you want to play 5 melee champs? I mean, they make 4 melee champs look easy, so 5 melee champs is the next challenge, right? Maybe Yasuo
Yeah.
Gragas bot lane with Zeros sitting on the Yasuo and have Yoshino play
Maybe.
his favorite Irelia in the top lane. I would like to see that. Gamas is a very intriguing team, especially in terms of picks.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely don't play standard, which is fun. Don't really want into. We don't want only standard League of Legends. It's good to see successful things that are a little bit different, and GAM
Absolutely.
certainly brings that one.
In terms of MVP, I think this game had a very clear MVP. What do you think? What would be your
Hugh.
pick? Yeah, Hugh.
Hugh.
Stepping up as he's more of the fallback player for GAM, more of the okay, we have to field a fifth player. We have no idea who's going to play the fifth player role, but I guess we take Hugh because he can play mages. But this game, he stepped up huge. Very good Lux performance, super great hit rate on the ults, and challenging
Mhm.
Slay for best Lux player in GAM.
Yeah, absolutely. Uh, he made a very good case for himself there that game, but really good win there overall by GAM. It was a team effort. You have to see what they can do going forward. Is this unorthodox playstyle going to keep working?
Yeah, so far it has been, and I don't really see why it wouldn't. Next week will be a big test when they play their last best of three of round one in terms of round robin. So they have played every team but Team Flash, and Team Flash also sitting on 4 wins. So they might be if they are able to kill or to win against Team Flash, they will be going out of the first round robin with 5-2 in terms of record, winning against all the top teams. So I think GAM, if they are able to win the next series, they are probably my number one team for the first round robin, and that's a
I
big
agree.
surprise.
It's huge, yeah.
Yeah, but that's it for the first series of the day. It's a little bit of a shorter one, but a very interesting series to look at. It will be uploaded to YouTube as every series later in the day when the second series is finished. So if you want to watch the VOD on YouTube, go at the click at the link and the Twitch channel, and we will be back with the second series in probably in 1 hour and 20 minutes. So at with Cerberus against DBL, which will probably be another 2 game set, but we get to see if Razor is able to recover from his spanking yesterday in the hands of Yoshino.
Yep, we'll have to see if he can bounce back, but we'll find out in quite a while, unfortunately. That's what happens when we have a short series.
Yeah, enjoy the break and see you guys in a little bit more than 1 hour for the second series.